One safe trade, transit, insurance, commerce, sales tax, appropriation, accountability, infrastructure, prepaid, dividend-bearing investment system to buy the intellectual technology of the medical industry, move it to the public domain or to the co-ops. Investment pool of strategic investments to enable us to have the best medical care and transition off of what we have with this insurance company, which is a Ponzi scheme because it's regulated by the government and facilitated by a third party. And every time we pay that third party for insurance, they go up on a ladder, we go down. And that's just all it's to it. Why does the regulators not just set up a pool to pay into without having to deal with a third party? That way somebody is accountable, because it's not the regulators, it's the regulators that cause loopholes that allows people to mistreat the public that are forced through a third party to do commerce with a third party, because regulations say you have to pay insurance companies to be able to have transit for your food and yourself. So they're like just government, but they're in the private sector. So we need one sales tax that appropriates all the money, and stop doing the same thing on our homes and get rid of property taxes, because that's absurd. Where you going to buy a spaceship and because you had it registered in a county, when you got back after 10 years of being out and out of in, eh, on planets and doing stuff, you're going to have to pay a tax to your county? Say, oops, I meant to call you and cancel, but I did. You gonna take everything I got? Well, yeah, you brought, yeah. So anyhow, there's a concept for it. We're going to have to adjust for the global tourism that just uses up all the utilities of the local inhabitants. Property taxes pays. Don't tell me we don't respond with our fire trucks and stuff in our sheriff's departments every time something happens involving a tourist. And how many incidences a day? Well, enough to have more, enough that when tourism is down, then they start feeding on the locals. So we need this one safe trade, transit, insurance, commerce, sales tax, appropriation, accountability transition system to bail out the Social Security pool and the Medicaid and all this stuff, and put it on track so that we got the pyramid scheme, but the pyramid scheme works for the residents. Okay, and any county that they're in, and you do commerce in that county or town, they got that sales tax, or that gas station, or anything, that restaurant out in the county, whatever, anywhere. Tourist trap like I'm trying to build. Get a sales tax at that point of commerce, and that pays for the utilities across the board. And when you do purchase stuff and you pay on a sales tax, you're paying for a certain amount of security in that product. It's all in one, all encompassing, small, minute. What I've seen it up to 11 cents on the dollar, and then I've seen it down to, I think it's at 7 cents on the dollar right now. So sales tax is not really that demanding, unless you're buying a big ticket item, and then there you are buying a big ticket item, you can afford it at that point. But when you go home, you should not have to go out here and slave and delegate all your time to these people in a fake economy. But that's all for now. Thank you for listening. Let's see, I can stop this thing. It's late. I need to go rest.